Hi guys, Tammy with Cinematic Skeins, and this is our first video of the year. I am going to try to work on the format of my videos to kind of make them easier to follow, especially when I go off on my little tangents. But anyway, hi, Happy New Year! Ooh, check out my sweater. Wait, hold on. I can't get out properly. Wait. Look at kitty cats. I love this sweater. I bought it in Korea. Like my other Korean things, it was made in China. And look, it's like long enough. Although technically this part is supposed to be here, so it like covers my hands, but whatever. I also found that Asian airlines have more leg room than US airlines. Like, I was not uncomfortable, and I'm 6 feet tall. Anyway, see, I'm already going on the tangents. We are filming on my phone again because I forgot to charge the battery for my camera. Oops. I still need to like review the settings and everything. Hi, you're laying on me. Can I get comfortable? Sorry, I know I got up for a second. Anyway, hi. Today is going to be a long one, you guys, because I was doing the Q&A. So I already filmed the Q&A. I filmed it last night because I knew it was going to be kind of long and I had a headache. So I figured my headache would probably transition into like crazy non-functional thing today. But it did not. And I have a feeling that it was brought on by the weather because it's raining. But I guess the air pressure is not that bad this morning because my head doesn't hurt. So I am going to go to the event, the Dallas Knitters Guild Happy Knit Year. Basically, they've reserved the room or whatever. I've never been there, so I don't really know. At the Best Little Retreat Center, and I think the capacity is 100 people. I don't know. It sounds like a COVID spreader event, so I probably shouldn't go. But they are recommending that you be vaccinated. They're not requiring it, which I kind of wish they were. Kind of like when we did the bus, they required you to be vaccinated to attend. But they are requiring masks, so at least there's that. And I'm vaccinated and boosted, so I figure I should be kind of okay. Although a lot of my friends back home and people I work with have since contracted COVID and they are vaccinated, so I don't know. I'm not really a people person, so I probably won't be sitting near anyone anyway, so I don't know, we'll see. But I'm gonna do that today, and I kind of explain the why of why I'm going in the question part of the video, so I'm not gonna go into it now because I have lots to show, which I also didn't expect. So I wasn't expecting this to be a long one. And I'm gonna take my glasses off in a second because of the glare. But before I do that, I wanted to show you guys what I got. I got new toppers, you guys. And I actually have more on the way because, yeah, why not? They had rainbow paw prints. I had to. I got Valentine's ones. Wait. I should just show them to you instead of putting them on. XOXO. They're super cute. And then I got fibery ones. They've got yarn on them. Sorry if I'm shaking. I haven't eaten yet today. And this one's got cats with yarn on them. I think I'm gonna wear these today because I'm wearing a cat sweater. So, isn't it cute? Okay, so. Quirky, I love it. Okay. And then I got some Tokyo Night ones. They're super cute. They're super cute. Okay, so let me take these off. Get rid of the glare. All right. What else do I have to show you? I have so much to show you guys. Some of the stuff you guys that follow me on Instagram will have seen already, but I don't think everybody that follows me on the YouTubes is following me on the Instagrams, but I don't know. You don't need to follow both. I'm boring. I got these from the Sexy Knitter. Like this one, wait, hold on. This one's a cassette tape. It says Good Vibes. And this one's like an old school Canon camera. Well, whatever camera, but I'll say it's a Canon. And you know what? Hold on, I'll show you in a second. And then I got a TV with the rabbit ears. It's so cute. And you know what? That cross stitch that I still haven't finished yet, my needle minder is the same TV. So they match. Isn't that cute? Okay. Yeah, I haven't worked on this. I think I mentioned that in the question video too. So yeah, I got that. And then I've been kind of obsessed with the Sexy Knitter lately. So she had veggies. Oh, I'm shaking. I need, there we go. They have little vegetables. Aren't they cute? I love the carrot. And then these came in this cute little container. But they are, I'll just show one. If I can get it out. They are pressed flowers. That's not gonna focus. They're super cute. The Sexy Knitter is on Etsy. You guys should go check it out. She's got so many cute stitch markers and little sets and things and whatnots. Things and whatnots. That's the name of the episode, Things and Whatnots. And then I got these from West 7th Wool, and they're by Firefly Notes, like the celestial stitch markers. But you guys, check these out. All right, so it comes with an umbrella progress keeper. Right? And then the stitch markers are raindrops. Isn't that cute? They're like little, they're so cute. I love them. I love them. Okay. So yeah, it comes in little sets, like $8. Get you one. They're awesome. But it's called Overcast. Raindrops for your knitting needles. 7 silvery raindrops and 1 umbrella progress keeper. They're super cute. Okay, and and the Sexy Knitter also sent me a little drawstring bag. It's got kitchen stuff on it. And I like to cook, so this is super cute. Although I'm not gonna use this for knitting because the type of fabric it is, I feel like it would be a good produce bag. So I'm gonna use it when I grocery shop. Yes. Okay. All the things. And I knew, all right. So, you know how I said I was gonna slow down on the acquisitions? I bought this stuff in December, okay? Just so we're clear. I think all of it was bought in December. Yes. Yes, all of it was bought in December. I think. Hold on. My brain. Whatever. I'm still doing my thing. I haven't bought any yarn. But you guys remember I said I wanted to make a sweater out of the Malabrigo Finito Dewberry yarn, and that I had gone ahead and ordered it from Circle of Stitches because they had it in stock, sweater quantity. Look at all of it. Look at it. Circle of Stitches must smell really good. Like everything they send me smells good. But yeah, like Malabrigo Finito. Give it a twist. Oh, it's so pretty. I still haven't found what sweater I'm gonna do. I did show you guys the Ixchel sweater, however you pronounce it, that I might do with this yarn, but I'm still undecided. So yes, there's that. I know I want to do something with like a little bit of color work in it because now I'm like obsessed with color work. And I'll show you why I'm obsessed. Like I'm almost done with my sweater. I might actually finish it this weekend. Okay, here's that. And then, guys, now I have a row 1 membership. Or I should say, I had a row 1 membership. I've decided, forgive the crinkling, to end my row 1 membership and try something else out. for this year. Plus, I have so many minis, and then there was the, you know, the advent that I did and all that. So I have enough yarn, I think, to make the blanket, the Coziest Memories blanket. So I don't need any more minis right now. In addition to that, I bought, and I mentioned this later on, I bought some bear yarn to dye. And when I dye yarn, I also dye minis when I'm dyeing it. So I have like contrast heels and toes for socks later on, and also to test out my colorways. So I will have plenty of minis and don't need a subscription for minis. So this is my last row one. That one's pretty cool. These are by $3.98. I don't know where they are. Let's find out where they are and see what our goodies are. Trying to get through stuff kind of fast because I already know how long the question and the Q&A thing is. Is that a peppermint patty? Yes. Totally gonna use that. I just brushed my teeth though, so it'll probably taste weird. Oh, what's this say? Oh, it's a Happy New Year stitch marker. That's kind of cool. Those are cool. All right. And let's see where $3.98 is from. Missouri. And let's see, who's the dyer? Kelsey Baker. All right, so check them out. These minis are really pretty. Oh, look at this green one. Look at that. Okay. All right. And then, you guys saw my Instagram. I was upset because my Yarnable box went missing. Like most of my mail in December for some reason. My neighbor had it in her box and she had been out of town, so she brought it over to me when she got back. And I'm very happy because I actually, you know how like the first one wasn't my style, the apple one, and I did the giveaway. And then the second one, the Grape Crush, not my taste, so it's in the box to be given away at some point. This one I actually wanted because I did a sneak peek to see what it was. And get the string off. Look it! It's blue! Look at it. And it's got yellow in it, but it's pretty. Look at that. And this is the Bougie New Year. Yeah, Bougie New Year. I like it a lot. And it came with some things it came with one thing I'm not going to use. This pen with a little jewel on it. It's cool if you're like one of those girly types, but I'm not. I'm never going to use that. Plus the thing makes it like top heavy. And do you remember like in school and you did the pencil and you're like, it's waving? All right. Did you guys do that? It came with a face mask, which I will probably use. It's one of the things, like a couple years ago, I went to Korea. I've mentioned this a couple times that I've been to Korea. I went for Christmas for 2 weeks because a friend of mine was going and I'd never been out of the country, like other than Canada. And I have always wanted to go to Asia. And she's like, hey, I'm going. Do you want to come with? And I was like, hell yeah. So I went to Korea. We went to see Seoul, Busan, and Jeju. I love Jeju Island. It's beautiful. Beautiful. And Busan. I love Busan. Busan's really pretty. The beach. Oh my God. And I know, you know, it was cold. It was really fucking cold. Sorry for the language. It was really cold. But, you know, we still went to the beach because it was so beautiful. I want to go back so bad. My passport is expired. I need to get my passport renewed. But anyway, the whole reason I went on that tangent is because I really got a lot of face care products while I was there. Not on purpose. That is not what I went there for. I was never a big... Like, I always took care of my face, but I wasn't one of those people who's like, need all the products. I'm not that person. The most I did is I did like face scrubs. What is it? Freeman's Beauty. I was obsessed with Freeman's Beauty's like face scrubs like throughout like middle school, high school. So I did those all the time. And then like the cucumber peel mask. But when I went to Korea, they're really big into skincare there. Most Asian countries are really big into skincare, I think. But all the products I got are fan-freaking-tastic. And I will tell you this, if you ever go to Korea and you just walk through the little shopping district where all the like face beauty shops are, they hand out free samples like crazy. Like I came home in my suitcase with a giant box of just free stuff. So yeah. And the Asian market in Dallas has a little Korean beauty shop inside, so I can get the stuff that I got in Korea there. And I still get my face wash and stuff there. And then like 2 days ago, I discovered I had some face serum that I forgot I had. It was a black tea face serum, I think by Tony Moly maybe, or the Face Shop, I'm not sure. But oh, my skin was very happy with it. So I need to go buy some more. Anyway, so yeah, I got a face mask in my Yarnable box. Love that tangent, right? All right. And then a little phone ring with yarn on it. I don't really use these. I also have a phone from like years ago. I have an iPhone 8 Plus because I don't want to lose my button. I think I mentioned that to you guys. But I am thinking about upgrading my phone at some point, so I will save this for that. All right, and that was the Yarnable box. And then I told you guys, like, I've decided to not do the Row 1 membership anymore. And I'm going to keep doing the Yarnable because I'm hoping there will be more colors that I'm into. Because I was thinking about canceling it because, you know, the last couple colors I was like, eh. But, you know, we'll see what this year brings. I think if I get like 2 more colors that I'm like, no, I'll cancel it and get something else. Because I'm still kind of weirded out by mystery yarn because I'm so picky, so I don't know. With that said, I joined a mystery yarn club. This club I joined last year, but then I canceled it because I decided to get the Row 1 membership instead. Yeah. So I rejoined this year, but it's movie based. It's by Savvy Skeins, and it's their Knitflix. I think it's called the Knitflix. I forgot already. It's the Knitflix Yarn Club. So, like, the yarn will be entertainment based. I haven't opened this yet. I just opened the thing. Yes. I feel better. I'm glad I ordered this. Okay, so last year, the reason I ordered it originally, because like when I first heard about it, was because she did a yarn for The Shining, and I was like, yes. But it was orange, and so I joined the club, but I was like, I'll wait for the next yarn, and then I canceled it and got Row 1 instead, and yeah. Anyway, so let's see what this is for. Sorry for the crinkles. When you buy yarn from me, if you ever buy yarn from me, I'm not going to do these bags because I can't stand the noise. It's for Squid Game. It's got a little guy. It's got the guy. Look, look, look. It's awesome. Okay, sorry, that was loud. Oh, I love it. It's even got pink in it, and I love it. Oh, look at that, you guys. Oh, I love it. I'm going to like this yarn club, I think. I should have stuck with it last year. Oh, well. Ooh, and a bookmark. Oh, and they're in Texas. They're in Texas. Savvy Skeins. They're in Texas. But they're in a part of Texas I don't think I've been to yet. Port Royal Ocean Resort. That's right. I have been to the ocean in Texas. Yellow Rose on the Coast. Yellow Rose Fiber Fiesta. Oh. I'll have to check that out. Get to see the ocean. Look at some yarn. Fiber Fiesta, April 29th and 30th. Wait a minute. Is it April 29th? Wait a minute. Are there multiple things? All right, so Yellow Rose Fiber Adventure, February 6th through April 28th. Experience unique Texas shops and farms, all things fiber arts. Door prizes, free patterns, farm tours. Ooh. But then it's got Yellow Rose on the Coast, February 4th and 5th, and then Yellow Rose Fiber Fiesta, April 29th and 30th. I'm gonna have to check this out. All right, if you guys are interested, yellowrosefiberfiesta.com. I'm gonna have to look that up. That might be something I can go do. My job requires that I put in my entire year's worth of vacation in the first couple days of January, even though I can't really plan anything because nobody knows all the events. Like, nobody has all their events calendared for 2022, especially with the pandemic. How am I supposed to plan trips? I have taken off I requested off. I haven't gotten approval yet to go to Rhinebeck. Like, I want to be able to go like a few days before it starts so I can just chill. Because when I watched Dragon Horde Yarns videos, she was staying in like this really nice cabin, and it was like woods and like a little creek in the back, and I want to stay there. I like stuff like that. I want to stay somewhere nice and fall foliage around, because
I want us to hear that you feel the same. So just say it back by Closure from Apple Music.
What? Alexa, stop. What are you talking about? I don't know what just happened. But anyway, I want to go, and you know, Texas doesn't really have a lot of fall foliage, at least where I'm at. So I want to go to Rhinebeck, and I want to like chill in some nice fall foliage before I have to experience the crazy of being around lots of people, which I'm uncomfortable with. Which is why I'm doing the thing that I'm doing this year, which I will mention later on in the Q&A section. But yay, I like this. This is going to be a good club. I went off on a tangent and totally lost track of where it was. I think that's it. I think that's it of stuff. You guys want to see my sweater? It's almost done. How long has this been? 20 minutes. So be a little bit over an hour. Grocery Girls was 3 hours the other day, which worked out though, because I was working and it got me through work because work was boring. So last time you guys saw this, I was there. And now I'm working on sleeves. So yeah, it's almost done. I've tried it on, it fits. I'm still kind of, and I've mentioned this on the Instagrams already, I'm still bothered by this. I feel like it's a very abrupt color change, even though it's a gradient. It's because the contrast isn't as strong on the darker colors. I wish I had started this color here instead. But I'm not doing it over. It's just, it is going to be this. So yeah, I'm almost done. So this is what I'm taking with me for the knit event today. And I'm going to take my socks in case I get tired of working on sleeves. All right. And with that, I'm going to go make something to eat before I go drop my dogs off at daycare. And now you guys get to listen to the very long Q&A. It's about 45 minutes. Just heads up, it's 45 minutes. But it was fun to do. I did get a little upset at one point, but I always get upset when that particular thing is mentioned. So, yeah. It's just me. Anyway, see you guys. Bye. Or not bye, but Q&A coming up next. Hey guys. So I filmed this section of the video separately because I'm starting to get a really bad headache, and I wasn't sure if it would carry over into tomorrow. They usually do. So I wanted to go ahead and film this portion since I knew it would be the longer portion because there's a lot of questions, while I could still function. I'm hoping it goes away with some sleep and whatnot because this week has been crazy with work. But yeah, that's my life. Anyway, So I have my laptop here. So it was a lot of questions. So the knitting tag video that I found had like over 20 questions. And then the Yarny tag has 10 questions. And then I have 12 questions from you guys, either on YouTube or through email or like, I don't know, Instagram comments or something. So I just compiled everything all together. So yeah, let's do questions, yes? God. I do hope this headache goes away because I have a knitting event. One of the things that I said I would do this year in an effort to not really overcome my introversion, because I'm an introvert. I've accepted that about myself. But I want to get better with it. So I'm trying to do at least one social activity a month, even if it's just like an online like Zoom meeting or something, like a Zoom knit night, which I've never done, but may do. So the Dallas Knitters Guild, which if you watched my very first video, I joined the Dallas Knitters Guild, but I have not attended any of the meetings because one, they're far away. Even though I know you can do it on Zoom too. I have not installed Zoom yet. I need to. But they're having, they call it Happy Knit Year, but it's like a gathering of people. Like it's a paid event. Like everybody pays like 20 bucks or something like that. And there's door prizes and raffles and things like that. And everybody just sits and knits like together all day. And they prefer people to be vaccinated. Everybody's gonna wear masks. Because I was debating not going with everything happening with COVID. My headache's making me sick. Dang it. But I'm going to go if my headache is better tomorrow. I even made reservations for the dogs to go to daycare so I could attend this. So if I don't make it, I'm just out 20 bucks, which what else is new? So yeah. Asian remedies for headaches, chrysanthemum tea. So I didn't want chrysanthemum tea. I wanted some chamomile and lavender. So I just put some chrysanthemum flowers in it as well. So it's actually quite delightful. Oh, so good. Okay. My dogs are outside right now and they're very quiet. So I wonder what they're into. Anyway, let's get to the questions. Because like I said, there's a lot. Yeah. And I found this tag from like a video from a couple years ago, so I don't know if there's a more recent knitter tag, but there's a lot of questions in it, so I figure it's everything you need to know knit-wise. So yeah, okay. Here we go. And sorry, all the dogs are barking. And those ones aren't mine. Maybe somebody's outside. I don't know. Anyway, let's do this. How long have I been a knitter? I started knitting in March of last year, so not long. Who taught you? I taught me. I actually, growing up, my mom had this book, and everything she taught me to do crafty came out of this book. And one of the reasons that I decided that Chevis was my kind of people, she has the same book. Everything in the world you need to know about crafts is in this book. So I used this book. This is from the 70s, you guys. Or is it the 60s? No, I think it came out in the 70s because my mom had it for a very, very long time. 1979. So this came out 2 years after my birth, and this is the book. So I taught myself to knit using a combination of that book and this book, which I've actually never knit anything out of. The Dominatrix by Jennifer Stafford. And I honestly picked up this book because it was like gothy, and I was like, I'm gonna make something in this book, because there was like, I think it was a skull sweater or something that's in here. Now I have to look, hold on. There is a sweater, yeah, there it is. But it's for men. Whatever. I wanted to make that sweater. And I never made it, and I probably never will, because I'm not into that anymore. I still like skulls, but yeah, I have skull sweaters. I don't need any more. Yeah. So yeah, I taught myself. Do you have any other crafts or hobbies? Movies. I cross stitch, although I haven't done it in forever, and I still need to work on that Halloween like Hollywood monster one that I showed you guys. I started and haven't touched it since. So I know how to cross stitch. I crochet. I'm still practicing my sewing. I paint. I draw really badly. I like doing pottery. Haven't done it in years. What else do I know how to do? I can do my own hair, but that was because I got tired of, like, I could not rationalize paying people to do my hair, like $200 to get my hair braided when I could just go buy the stuff and braid it myself for free. Like, yeah, I don't braid my hair anymore because now I have these, so they're perfect and I don't have to do anything to them. Well, except get them tightened, which I could learn how to do, but I did it myself while the whole pandemic thing was like, everybody was in lockdown, you couldn't get your hair done. And that took me days. So no thanks, I'll just pay somebody to do it. I would like to learn basket weaving. My problem with that is getting the supplies. Like, I don't know how to go about all that. I would love to learn how to weave my own baskets. Have I done it before? No, I haven't done baskets. I'm gonna do the coil basket thing that but I have a bunch of coil baskets, so I don't really need any. I just want to try it. What else do I do? I think that's it. Crafty stuff. Yeah, I think that's all I do. Okay. See, that took forever. Favorite things to knit? Socks. Actually, I haven't been knitting very long, and all I've done are socks and sweaters and a shawl. I like knitting socks because it's something you can finish quickly. But I really like the sweater thing, even though I've only made a couple. But I like sweaters. Because I can wear it after. Like, socks, I know I won't wear that often because I like being barefoot. But sweaters, if I can ever get out of Texas. My worst knitting habit. The way that I hold my yarn. Because it's not right. Like, I know it's not right. Nobody holds their yarn like I do in the videos I've seen. I don't hold it on the fingers you're supposed to hold it on. Like, my tension's probably all jacked up. I don't know what I'm doing. But I get results, so it can't be that bad. Worst knitting habit. I don't know. Oh, I know, because I did it on this sweater that I'm working on. Forgetting to switch out my needles. Because, like, you know, the sweater's like you knit the neck in like a small needle and then you switch to the larger needles to like work on the yoke. You know, I keep forgetting to switch to the larger needles. So, and then I don't feel like frogging it because I'm like, I've done all this work, so I'm just going to keep going. Yeah, that's my worst habit. Favorite pattern at the moment? The one I'm working on? I don't know. Yeah, I can't answer that. I don't have enough patterns to be like, ooh, this is the best thing ever. When was the last time you knit? 5:30 today. Do you listen to knitting podcasts? I watch knitting podcasts. That was one of my problems when I started doing videos. Like, what's the difference between a podcast and a vlog? Like, I think this is a vlog, but everybody calls them podcasts. Like, to me, podcasts are things you listen to. So no, I don't listen to knitting podcasts. Are you on Ravelry? Yes, never's too long. I don't have that much on there. Don't go looking for me. It's pointless. Do you knit gifts for people? Nope. I don't have anybody to knit for. I mean, I did knit the lady that does my hair a pair of socks. And the only reason, like, because you chit-chat when you're getting your hair done, and she's like, oh, you knit. And I was like, oh, I'm knitting socks. She's like, oh, I've never had hand knit socks. I was like, I will knit you socks. So it's not like she asked for them. I was like, I want to knit something. So no. When I was younger, I would crochet baby blankets for people in my family. Not that anybody really cared. or said thank you, but whatever, that's my family. Do people make fun of your knitting? No. My friends honestly don't care and have had well, I take that back. Some of my friends are like, oh, that's really pretty, you're so talented. But my friends honestly don't care. Like, none of them follow, like, maybe 2 of them follow my Instagram, but like none of them watch my videos or anything. Like, they don't care. Which is funny because whenever they're doing something, I always care and try to. Nobody does that for me though. Used to it. What was the last yarn you bought? On purpose. Does it count if I hadn't gotten it yet? I switched out my yarn subscriptions, which I probably mentioned already in the first part of this video. But yeah, that doesn't count because I haven't received it yet. Last yarn I bought was the Malabrigo Finito Dewberry yarn. Does that count? Because I have subscriptions, so that doesn't count, right? Yeah, whatever. All right. What are your favorite needles to use? Ciao Goose. I like these, and I really like the shorties. I like the length of these. And so I like these a lot. I actually switched to these from these. And I also like these a lot. These are the Knitter's Pride Mindful. And I love these. Like, they're really pretty. They have cute little sayings on them. They're really, I like this set. I like the packaging. Like, it's all like chill and blue and yeah. But the join. It's the join, man. Yarn gets stuck in the joins. Not on these though. So I kept these because I figure these would be the ones I travel with, because if I lose them, it's not as much of an expense to replace them as it is to replace these. So these are my favorites. How big is your stash? Large-ish. I'll get back to you guys on that. I'll answer that question next video, because I haven't actually counted my stash, and I said that I would go back through it because I need to, because I had a notebook that had all my yarn in it, but I wasn't updating it, so I need to go back through. But it's decent. It's not as massive as I've seen other people's, but it's decent. Yeah, I have 50. My yarn came. The yarn I ordered to dye. I have 50 skeins of yarn sitting on my floor right now. And I won't order more unless I actually sell that yarn. That is my promise to myself. Because I had ordered a bunch of yarn to dye, and I've been dyeing and dyeing and dyeing and giving it away and giving it away. And I need to stop doing that. I need to actually sell it, because that's the whole point. Okay, wait a minute. Where'd I go? Went off on a tangent there. Okay, here we go. How many whips do you have? My sweater, which I might finish while I'm knitting with everybody tomorrow if I go. My sweater. My self-striping socks with my yarn. I restarted the colorwork socks that I have failed on 5 times. I started them again because the sweater gave me confidence to try colorwork socks again. So there's those. And while I technically haven't cast it on yet, I have set aside the yarn for it and figured out my color progression for the night shift shawl, which I'm going to do next. And then if you count my bin of plans, they don't count. I haven't cast them on yet. It doesn't count. I will show you guys when I do the tour of my craft room. which is one of the questions that's in here, I will show you guys my whips, and I'll show you the picture of what I plan to do with each of those things, because I've separated all of the yarn that I have plans for into its own bin to inspire me to get some shit done. Most disastrous knitting project. That would be the Allie's socks, the colorwork socks that I have tried and failed, and the last pair got chewed on by a dog. So yeah. Have you ever spun yarn? That one time in the first video I ever did where I showed you the yarn that fell apart, that's the one time I did that. I have more fiber, so I can try it again. I just haven't done it yet, because I feel like the drop spindle, I still feel like the drop spindle isn't for me. And people keep telling me to try it again, and I keep thinking maybe I should just buy one of the e-spinners, because they're cheaper than a wheel, and see if I like that. And if I don't, it'll be easy to sell, I think. And yeah, so sort of. Have you ever dyed yarn? You guys know the answer to that. Have you ever been to a knitting event other than the yarn crawl and the event that I'm hopefully going to tomorrow? No. What is your local yarn store? There are many. The closest one to me is U2 Yarn. And the thing about my local yarn stores is, depending on what I'm looking for, that tells me which store I'm gonna go to. So my closest store is U2 Yarn. The store I go to the most, it's a toss-up between West 7th Wool and McKinney Knittery. McKinney Knittery when I feel like driving, usually on a Saturday. West 7th Wool because I have to go near there to go grocery shopping, so I go there a lot. There are a bunch more. On the Lame Yarn Shop because I like the owner because she's really awesome. And I go there when I'm looking for indie dyed yarn or just regular like staple yarn, like solid colors like Cascade and stuff like that that I need. And that's near my office when I have to go into the office, and this Chinese place that I like. There are a couple more places too, but I don't go to them as much. I go to Juju's. I like Juju's a lot. Like the owner there is really nice too, and they have a lot of variety, but I feel cramped when I'm in there because like everything is so close. So I feel like if there's like more people inside, I would feel really uncomfortable shopping. But I think that's a me thing, the whole introversion and being social, and yeah. Yeah, I think I've answered this question. Okay. U2 Yarn I go to when I'm looking for non-superwash or like nifty hand-dyed sock stuffs because they dye really pretty sock yarn. That was a long answer. Do you ever buy yarn online? Yes. I prefer not to, only because I have found that the majority of the yarn I've bought online, the colors are not the same when I get them, and I know that's a thing, and it bugs me every time. Especially there was this one yarn I bought, it was like a teal, totally different shade of teal, like my version of teal and this person's version of teal, completely different, and the picture just, teal and turquoise are not the same color. But thanks to the magic of computers, the colors were wrong. So yes, I do buy yarn online. Usually I'll buy yarn that I've already seen in person online because then I know it's the color that I'm looking for. What FO do you use all the time? These socks. Which is funny because I wasn't happy with the yarn because it was kind of splotchy, but I wear them all the time. Yeah. Do I multitask when I knit? I do now, because I can finally knit without like stockinette. I can knit stockinette without looking at my hands all the time, so I can watch subtitles now. So I watched an entire Korean TV show in the last couple of days because I didn't have to look at my hands and I could read the subtitles. I only know like 6 Korean words, which is funny because I took Korean class. My brain does not hold on to languages. I have family from Puerto Rico, speak Spanish. You know who took 2 years of Spanish and failed both? Yeah, I can count to 10. And I know some colors and some food. That's as far as my Spanish goes. And my family's from Puerto Rico. Anyway. Where did it go? All right. Favorite compliment about knitting? That it doesn't suck. Yeah, like I'm really happy when somebody looks at something that I made, not that I've made that much, and says it looks good. Because I'm like, this doesn't look as good as somebody that's more experienced could probably make, but boys. Sorry, that was loud. Yeah, if somebody thinks what I made looks good, I'm good. My favorite stitch marker. It's not in here. It's this one. Right, so we all know that the twill and print stitch markers are my favorites. I love them. However, that said, I just recently bought this little like old school like 80s style color TV with the rabbit ears. I just bought that from, did I get that from the Sexy Knitter? I think maybe. I have to see who I bought it from and I'll like plug it in here. I think it was the Sexy Knitter, but that's my new favorite. Hey, hey, hey! No, sir! Benny forgets that he's bigger than Theo sometimes. Have you ever taught anyone to knit? No. Sorry. What techniques do you love and loathe? I used to hate purling, but now the way that I hold my yarn. Fingers are weird. Now the way I hold my yarn, it doesn't bother me so much. So yeah. But I have a feeling I'm gonna loathe this one thing because every time I've looked at it, I feel like it's overcomplicated and I'm gonna mess it up, but I haven't done it yet, but I know it's in a couple patterns that I have. It's knit front and back in the same loop. I haven't done it yet, but I feel like that's gonna be a thing that I hate. What do I love? I don't know. The pattern that you make when you slip the stitch and knit like every other row, that little braided I think that looks cool. So what's that one thing? It's on, people do it on hats. I think it's called the Latvian braid. I think whenever I do that, I'll probably like that. I don't know enough techniques to love or hate anything. Okay, so that was the knitting questions, and now this is the yarny tag. Favorite colors of yarn? I like jewel tones. I like deeply saturated yarns, which is why I have such an issue dyeing, because sometimes there are some colorways I want to do that are kind of pastel, and I keep screwing it up and making them darker because I tend to make everything dark and saturated because that's what I like. But yeah, I do have plans to dye. Like there's this one colorway I want to do that's very watercolory, pastel looking, because it's based on this book that I love. So yeah, but my favorite color personally, I love jewel tones, dark saturated things. And I also like earthy tones, but cool. So like I'm on the cool side of the color spectrum. That's what I like. Not yellow. Favorite weight of yarn? My favorite weight to knit with is DK, because fingering is just tedious, even though I knit with it the most. Favorite style of yarn? I don't know what that means. Is that like worsted spun or woolen spun? I don't know. I like high twist. Does that count? That's a style, right? I don't know. Favorite fiber? All I've been knitting with is merino wool, so I guess that. I will say that the, I Have I forgotten what it's called already? What's the name of that sweater that I love? That I made, that I love. Oh my God. Stolen Stitches, Carol Feller. Glenbarrow, whatever. That sweater is made with a wool cotton blend. I like that because it's very light and airy, and I don't get hot the one day that I got to wear it. So yeah, I like that. Favorite brand that you can easily get within your country? Malabrigo. Favorite brand not easy to get within your country? No idea. Oh, no, I take that back. Life in the Long Grass. I won't say, it's not like it's hard to get, but not all the colors are available here. Yeah, because not a lot of, well, locally, not a lot of people carry it. I know they have it at West 7th Wool, but I think West 7th Wool is the only local yarn store I've seen that has Life in the Long Grass. So yeah, them. It takes a couple weeks to get it if you order it direct, because I've done that. Favorite brick and mortar local yarn store? We've been through this. I'm skipping that one. Do you keep scrap yarn? Yes, because my scraps are like half skeins. So yes. Favorite thing to crochet and knit? I've already done that. Here we go, you guys' questions. And I already answered this question because I wasn't like, I asked you guys to ask me questions, and then when somebody asked me a question on the YouTube comment, I immediately answered back. I was like, oh wait, I'm supposed to answer it in the video. So I'm gonna do it again in case some of you guys didn't read that comment. So yeah. Okay, here we go. Do you knit a gauge swatch in the actual yarn with the actual stitch pattern before you start a sweater? Yes. Would top down be better or bottom up for a first time sweater knitter? I'm not that experienced to answer that kind of question. But based on my experience, I find that top down is easier. It's the only thing I've finished because the Bright Axis tee is bottom up, and I knit that whole entire thing up to like from waist to armpit before I found out that it didn't fit. So at least with top down, I would have known way sooner that it didn't fit me, and I wouldn't have knit all of that and had to frog it. So top down, yes. And then I also had responded to this that for new knitters, this sweater was recommended to me, not that I knit it. I went ahead and did some more complicated things. But the flax sweater by Tin Can Knits, it's a free pattern on Ravelry, and I've seen that recommended a lot for beginner sweater knitting. I skipped that and did other stuff, so yeah. But in my brain, the sweaters that I've shown you guys that I've done are also good for beginners. So the Glenbarrow, and because that taught me how to do left and right decreases, excuse me, and the Planetary sweater taught me how to do that weird stitch that ends up looking like little X's. I'm not sure what it's called because it doesn't say in the pattern. And I learned how to do German short rows on the Glenbarrow sweater. So, and because the pattern is so well written, and she also has videos and like tutorials. So the first sweater that I did, or the first two sweaters that I did, I feel like are good for beginners because they were easy patterns to follow, and they wrote out the techniques, so you learn new things at the same time. How many hours a day or week do you knit? I have no life, so this is kind of embarrassing, but a lot. On the weekends, sometimes I will knit for hours because I tend to binge watch things on the weekends because that's what I do. That's all I do. So when I'm not running errands, I'm chilling in front of my TV and watching whatever. I could watch like say like the last season of The Witcher, I watched an entire weekend and I probably knit the entire thing, except for breaks for food and stuff. So yeah, I knit a lot. But typically, if I don't knit during my lunch break, I usually pick up my knitting after work. So I will get off work, walk the dogs, make dinner, and turn the TV on, put in a movie, and knit. And I usually watch 1 or 2 movies, and I'll knit on, like, if I'm working on a sweater, I'll knit on my sweater while I'm watching the movies. And then when I go to bed, because I never go right to bed, I will knit on a sock or something for like half an hour until my brain calms down, and then I go to sleep. So minimum 3 hours a day, maybe. Way more on the weekends. When you moved south, did your dogs come with you, and was it a difficult transition when they did? When I moved to Texas from Virginia, I drove. It was a 3-day drive. I took breaks. I did not bring my dogs with me on the drive because I did not know where I was going to be living. So I actually stayed in a hotel when I got here. And I did not get an apartment. I think it took me 2 weeks to find an apartment after I moved here. And then a friend of mine from back home drove my dogs to me. I paid them to drive my dogs to me, so it wasn't like they did it for free. But they drove my dogs to me. It was really expensive. And my dog Bailey, it was not a difficult transition. Like, Bailey was used to going on road trips with me. So he was very excited to see me when he got here. He died shortly thereafter. So, not from the road trip, just he had cancer. Sorry, I love that dog. A lot. I have a tattoo for that dog. He's my baby. My current dogs, I love them, but they're not Bailey. And then, sorry, Bailey's a sore spot. Then I had Misha, who was a German Shepherd puppy that I adopted off of Craigslist. Never do that, by the way. She was, I hadn't had her for very long when I decided to move to Texas. And when she first got here, she didn't know who I was. So it took her like 20 minutes after she got here to be like, oh wait, I know your smell. You're cool. You're that lady that brought me home. So yeah. And then she got really, really sick. Apparently she had some sort of enzyme or something that was keeping her from processing food properly, and she would blood everywhere, just from both ends. And I couldn't, at the time, I did not make as much as I make now, and I could not afford her veterinary care. So I adopted her out to the emergency vet tech that took care of her when she got super sick, and I couldn't afford to pay the bill. So, yeah. Fortunately, she was adopted by the vet tech that took care of her. And her name is now Ash, and she lives in Dallas. Yeah. So the dogs that I had when I moved here are no longer my dogs. Bailey's gone, and Misha lives with some other people. And I got Theodore a few months after I lost Bailey. And then Benny was the accidental adoption that, yeah. Anyway. Have I ever made anything for my pets? Not knitwear, because dogs and sweaters is just a no. Not that, all right, so if you do that, that's all you, cool. If your dog needs it, like, I get that. Like, if your dog needs protection from the elements. Like, my friend has I can't even pronounce the name of that dog. And it's funny because I used to be a vet tech as well. An unlicensed vet tech, because the vet I worked for said that, you know, as long as you knew how to do the job, the schooling wasn't important, which was kind of awesome. Illegal, but awesome. So I got to do like surgeries and things like that that technically wasn't supposed to be doing. But yeah, moving on. I should know how to pronounce like all these breeds. But my friend has a Mexican hairless dog. It's It's with an X. It's a really long name, and I don't want to butcher it. I can't remember how to pronounce it. But they need sunscreen. They need skin protection. I can understand those dogs wearing sweaters. Fine, that's great. And for my dogs, Bailey used to wear pool shoes because whenever he would swim, his pads would get so soft that if he walked on anything rough afterwards, he would cut them open. So he had pool shoes and snowshoes. Theodore has snowshoes, but he never wears them. And since we moved to Texas, he doesn't really need them. Yeah. The only thing that I would totally get my dog, like buy for my dog, would be like a raincoat. Like the cute little yellow slickers you can buy for your dogs. They're just so cute. But no, I haven't made any sweaters or anything for dogs. The only thing I've done are bandanas. I'll make those. That was really long. I'm sorry. I went off on a rant. Let's see. How long do I plan on staying in Texas, and where would I like to move next? If it were up to me, I would leave Texas tomorrow. Fortunately, it's not. Even though I work from home, I don't know if I mentioned this in a video. I may have, because I complain about it all the time. When I took my current job, I took it because I could work from home, and I was told I could move anywhere I wanted to. And then my VP got switched out to another guy who decided that his people need to live within a certain, I can't remember if it's a time, like if you have to live within a certain distance of the office, or if it's like 30 minutes or an hour or something from an office. I don't remember the exact wording of it, because technically it's not a company rule. It's a him rule. Which is why I'm so pissed off about it, because I was totally planning on moving home. I was even looking at houses. So yeah. Unless I can convince my boss to let me the hell go. Because I work from home. Why do I need to live near the office? Their reasoning is if something happens to my laptop, I need to be able to go into the office. And they won't pay to fly me somewhere. I'll pay. I'll fly myself. Let me go. Bye. But apparently he has changed it to I have to live near an office and not the office that's near me. Which frees me up to move to a couple of different states. I would love to move to Portland. I don't know if that's going to happen because Portland's expensive as hell. I've considered moving to Charlotte because my cousin lives there and we have offices there. And I don't know, I want to move home mostly because I miss my friends. But here's my other thing with that. I've had friends of mine from home be in Texas for a couple of days and not make any effort to come see me. But whenever I'm home, people get mad when I don't make an effort to come see them, which I feel is kind of selfish. And it kind of hurt my feelings that people were here and didn't make an effort to even say hi. You don't have to hang out with me for very long. Just hey, let's go grab a cup of coffee. Haven't seen you in a bit. Can I get a hug? Hurt my feelings a little bit. But I've also found that in my friendships, I tend to put more of myself into them than the other people do. So I care more about people than they care about me. And it's kind of always been that way. So I don't know. I'm just not good with people, man. So yeah, I thought about moving home because I have friends there. But then all of that gets in my head and I'm like, I don't need to live near my friends. But then I think about living here where I don't have any friends and I'm not unhappy, but I know I would be happier if I had people to do stuff with, when I do want to do stuff, if that makes sense. So I don't know. I want to live somewhere where I know people. So if I do want to go do something, or when I've had my knee surgery, it would be nice to have people to call, be like, hey, would you mind coming over and hanging out with me? I can't move off my couch. Yeah, stuff like that. Because that sucked a lot. Especially when this punk over here knocked me over on my crutches. That sucked. But yeah, I kind of want to... I miss the East Coast, and I think the only reason I miss it, other than my friends, is because I could drive to the beach and the mountains in the same day in a short span of time. So I had the Blue Ridge Mountains and I had Virginia Beach, and I can get to both within 45 minutes. That was awesome. I would love to live near the ocean and the woods. So I need both of those things to make myself happy. So wherever I can go where there's water and trees... There's not a lot of water and trees in Texas, I'll tell you that. There's parts, but it's not the same. That was long. I'm sorry. Let's see. There's not that many more. This is already 45 minutes. Oh my God. We're almost 45 minutes. Someone asked for the affiliate link for the magnetic glasses that I have. I popped that in with their comment, but if anybody else is interested, the link I have just gets you $20 off if you want to get these glasses with the magnetic toppers and all that. Can you show your craft room? Sure. Not today. Next time. I'll show it next time. Yeah, I need to clean off my sewing table. It's a mess. I tend to like pile stuff up. Like when I do these videos and I show you guys a bunch of stuff, instead of like immediately putting it all where it's supposed to go, I'll just throw it all on my sewing table. So yeah, I gotta put some stuff away, and then we'll do that. What breed are your dogs? The little dog is a standard Schnauzer. My dog Bailey was a giant Schnauzer. They are the breed I prefer. But I knew that I was gonna have another knee surgery. So I opted to not get another giant Schnauzer right away and to try out having a standard for a change. Standards are crazy. Crazy. Neurotic. Crazy. I didn't get a miniature Schnauzer because I was like, they're very yippy. Yippy dogs annoy the crap out of me, but I love all Schnauzers. I wanted an Irish Wolfhound but couldn't find a breeder. And then, yeah, so I still wish I'd gotten another giant, but I don't think I was ready with it being so soon after Bailey. I don't think I could have done it. So Theo was a good idea. He just turned out to be more crazy than I expected. And he's very, very reactive to things. Like, I literally cannot watch TV if there's going to be a dog on something. Like, if God forbid I try to watch like Lassie or something, he runs at the TV and tries to attack the TV. And like if we're walking or if we're driving in the car and they see another dog, he goes nuts. And one of the reasons that I got Benny, being as chill as he was like, maybe you'll calm Theo down. But no. Benny has picked up that bad habit of Theodore's, so now when he sees another dog, he goes apeshit. So I highly recommend giant Schnauzers. Anyway, speaking of the Irish Wolfhound thing, those are my favorite breed. When I got Benny, initially, the whole way that I told you guys his adoption story. The whole way I found him was because I was following an Irish Wolfhound rescue page. They were told he was an Irish Wolfhound mix. I still sometimes tell people he's an Irish Wolfhound mix because it's just easier to explain him being as big as he is. Granted, he's only like 80 pounds and my giant Schnauzer was 115 pounds. So to me, Benny is small. Theo is tiny. He's like 40 pounds. But anyway, I had Benny's DNA done because with me having a animal background, when I got him, I immediately saw like, this is not an Irish Wolfhound. So I had DNA done on him, and he is a Great Pyrenees Lab European Shepherd mix. He's a mutt. But to many people, they accept the whole Irish Wolfhound mix. So yeah, whatever. But yeah, he's a Great Pyrenees Lab mix. He's goofy. And he's got those He's seriously got those like droopy puppy dog eyes that just makes your heart melt. But he uses his size to get what he wants. So yeah, those are my dogs. And I keep looking at puppies, and then I just took them to the vet to get their shots updated. And even though like Benny only needed 1 shot, but just to get like Theo's shots and then heartworm preventative and flea and tick preventative for both of them for the entire year was like $1,100. I don't need any more puppies. I need a cat, but I think they would eat it. At least Benny would. God, I miss having a cat. I had a cat when I moved to Texas too, but he was getting up there in age, and I didn't think the stress of a car ride would do him, so I adopted him to a farm. So yeah. His name was Vincent Price. What part of Texas are you in? I am in DFW, Dallas-Fort Worth, and which is the north, I think it's considered North Texas, in the tornado belt, which I did not know until I moved here, but it's like there's that giant tornado belt that goes through Oklahoma, and it actually ends in Texas, because I didn't know about tornado sirens until I moved here. But when I first moved here, I lived in Frisco, and then I moved to Plano, and then I moved to Richardson, and then I moved back to Frisco because my knee doctor was in Frisco. And now I live in Venus, which nobody's ever heard of because it's like 3 miles long because there's nothing out here. But I'm now, I think this is considered South Dallas or something like that. So it takes me about 45 minutes to get to Dallas and about 30 minutes to get to Fort Worth. So Fort Worth's closer. But again, I blame that on bad Texas roads because I don't know why they make their roads all crazy curvy. There's no reason for it. Ground is flat. Just go straight. How hard is it to dye yarn? It's not that hard. It's not that hard. I will say that one of my issues, because I like things so saturated, is because sometimes, and because I don't measure things, I use too much dye. And then it's just bleeding. And yeah. Because there is a certain point where your yarn is going to be like, I can't take any more dye, lady, but I've added too much, so the dye has nowhere to go. It can't attach to anything because I've just used too much. So that's one of my issues, and why I'm going to start measuring properly. I've ordered more squeezy things. Squeezy things. I'm tired. Syringes and with measurements and all that stuff on them. So I can, and I ordered like the big jumbo ones, so I can, a lot of yarn, like a lot of dye at once, and I know exactly the measurements, and I'm gonna get better about doing that. Also, so I can write stuff down. Yes, because I've opened an Etsy shop, and eventually there will be yarn in the Etsy shop. Once I attack those 50 skeins over there. I got plans. Mostly Halloween plans. But I'm going to try to have some yarn dyed before then. I want to do a Vincent Price collection. You heard it here first. Don't steal my idea. It's mine. Got the tattoo. It's mine. Oh, last question. Are you going to sell the yarn you've dyed? I just answered that. So yeah, that's it. That's the questions. It's been an hour. That's enough. That's enough. Okay, if you guys have more questions, ask them. I'll answer them. I'll do, like, if you guys have like tons of questions like after every video, comment, man, and I'll answer your question in the next video. Let's start that trend. Okay? All right, let's do that. And with that said, I'm gonna take some more Excedrin and go knit a sock or something. Yes. Bye. See you in 2 weeks.